Hey guys, Uncle Zoe here with another workbench review. This time it's the Springfield Armory XDS in 45 ACP. This was my first gun. At the time when I bought this and became a gun owner, I was convinced that the 45 ACP was the best round I could buy because of its mythical stopping power. It's a big round. It's significantly larger in diameter than 9mm, which is what I prefer to shoot today. But at the time, that's what I wanted to get, was a 45 ACP. I arrived at that conclusion by reading a lot on the internet, and since the internet doesn't lie, it had to be right. And it made sense. Bigger bullet, bigger hole, therefore better caliber. I had rented a number of 45 ACPs before buying this one and felt like I could handle it. I just went to the shooting range, rented a few. I rented some 9mm, rented a 40 Smith & Wesson and the 45, and shot them all, and I felt, yeah, I can handle it. I actually used this gun to pass my proficiency qualification exam for my license to carry, or LTC, here in Texas. At the time, it was called a CHL, or Concealed Handgun License, but this is actually the gun that I used to practice for and pass that exam. And it served as a concealed carry handgun for me for quite some time. For quite a while, it was the only gun that I owned. My primary carry method for this gun was a hybrid inside the waistband holster. This one in particular, which was made by Concealment Solutions. Absolutely love this holster. It was comfortable. You can see it's worn in with that nice horse leather. And it's absorbed a lot of sweat, but this would tuck right inside my waistband, and this is how I carried it almost all the time. From time to time, I would pocket carry it, and it is a larger gun for pocket carry. Compared to my hand, it's a little bit bigger, so I did need larger pockets, but I would use a pocket holster with it, such as this one right here that would stay open when it was inside my pocket, so I could reholster it if I needed to. This little hook down here would catch it when you're drawing it, so it would just pop right out. If I can do this on camera. And that worked very well for me when I was carrying it. I've shot it a bit. Over the years that I've owned it, I've probably put, somewhere in the neighborhood of 500 to maybe 700 rounds through it. That's really all that I like about it. It was just easy to carry, easy to conceal. What I don't like about it, actually there's more things that I don't like about it now than I do like about it. First things first, it's hard to shoot. Typically I'm shooting this right-handed here, and the reality is that it's really hard to get a full grip on it. You can see your pinky there slides off. It's got no magazine in there right now, but with its standard 5-round capacity magazine, it's still very hard to get a grip on that. And the other problem that I have with it too is with my meaty hands here, when I do get a good grip on that, when this slide comes back, it tends to catch my hand right here and give me a bit of slide bite. So yeah, it's not an easy gun to grip. Aside from the grip ability of this gun, which, again, it's hard with that pinky flying off there, it's also a hard gun to shoot. I mentioned that I had shot a 45 that I rented, and actually some others that at the range from friends and whatnot that I felt I could handle it. What I didn't know at the time and didn't take into consideration is that those guns were full-sized 45 ACP firearms. They had a larger barrel, they had more weight to them, larger grips. So I managed the recoil on those was a lot easier to manage. With this one, it's snappy, just because of the small frame, the small grip, and the lighter weight. That recoil really is punishing on my hand. The other thing that I didn't like about it was the low capacity. In a single stack configuration, you've got 5 rounds in the standard mag, and then you've got this extended magazine for it here that holds 7, which gives you a much better grip, but even with that grip, it's still quite punishing on my sensitive hands. So would I recommend this firearm? Probably not. No, I can't really think of many reasons or really almost any reason as to why I would recommend it. For a first gun or an only gun, I would say definitely not, especially from my experience. My mistake was not knowing or thinking about the difference between a small frame and a light frame like this one compared to a full size or heavier frame that I had fired previously. It's a lot harder to grip. It's harder to control when shooting at any speed, just because of the recoil management and how much it snaps in my hand. And it's just very punishing in my hand. I guess for some people that may not be an issue, but as a first gun, I don't think it's the best. It's going to take some time to learn how to shoot that properly. It means you're going to have to train with it. And if your hands find it to be as punishing as mine did, especially now that I'm getting older with arthritis setting in, it's just, I can't see a lot of people really practicing with it regularly. I know I didn't, or liking to shoot it. So as a first or only gun, I would say no. For self-defense considerations for concealed carry, maybe I would consider it or consider recommending it. The reason I say maybe is because it is a small frame and a small handgun, so it's easy to carry, it's easy to conceal, especially inside the waistband. Maybe in a pocket carry configuration, it's a gun you can do that with. But short of that, it's not really my first choice for a concealed carry firearm. It's too low on capacity. If you really have to use it because you're in a situation that calls for it, I'd rather have something that I can shoot well and that has a higher capacity, and this gun does not fit the bill for me. For open carry, it's a definite no. I think if you're going to open carry, you're better off with a full-size firearm. It's going to be easier to shoot. You're going to have a lot more capacity, and that gun is going to be easier to manage, and the recoil will not be as perceivable as it is in such a smaller frame. So if you're going to carry or open carry, I don't see why anyone would opt for a single stack subcompact or micro-compact handgun in such a large caliber. For home defense use, I would also say no, I don't recommend this gun. Pretty much for the same reasons I don't recommend it for open carry. For home defense, my preference would be a full-sized firearm because I can shoot it better, I can manage the recoil better, and it's got a larger capacity. So again, for the same reasons I don't recommend it for open carry, I don't recommend this gun for home defense. Do I recommend this gun as a backup gun? Possibly. It is small enough to carry as a backup gun, and it's reliable. Those are two important aspects of a backup gun. But at least for me, it's still a hard gun to shoot, so I would probably consider or recommend something in 9mm for a semi-automatic pistol like this one, or maybe even a small revolver in .38 Special. I guess you could go with .357 Magnum, but those small revolvers and a .357 Magnum are also very punishing in the hand. So again, my preference would be something that I can handle well and conceal well. This meets the concealment and the carry aspect of that backup gun, but the shootability is just not there for me. So I wouldn't recommend for that. Now, keep in mind, I can't really make a recommendation based on experience because, frankly, I have never carried a backup gun. As far as handgun hunting goes, I would say no, I don't recommend this gun for a number of reasons. All the reasons I've already mentioned for home defense and open carry. It's just, for handgun hunting, my preference would be a large, full-sized handgun where I can get the best performance out of the bullet. With such a short barrel on this one's 3.3 inches, the round doesn't spend enough time in the chamber to reach its peak velocity, which means you're not reaching its peak energy, and that would be something I'd be concerned about for handgun hunting. Another reason I would not recommend this handgun in particular for handgun hunting is, as far as I can tell from all the chatter on the internet and from other handgun hunters, is .45 ACP is not a suitable round for handgun hunting. Most of the handgun hunting loads that I have found have been either in 357 Magnum, 10 millimeter auto, 41 Remington Magnum, 454 Casull, 480 Ruger, or 500 Smith & Wesson. There's probably a few other calibers and cartridges that I didn't mention there, but 45 auto or 45 ACP is not one of them. I also don't recommend this gun for recreation purposes. As I mentioned, for me personally, it's not a fun gun to shoot. I don't like training with it. It's too punishing on the hand. It's just not enjoyable for me. And frankly, every friend that I've had that shot this gun says the same thing. I can't recall one person who has gone to the range with me and has shot this firearm that said, oh, hey, great, that's a fun gun to shoot. Not a single person. As far as gun collecting goes, this gun is probably not a collector's item. It is now out of production, so maybe someday there will be a little bit of collectible value to it because it's harder to find or something to that effect, but it was mass produced, so I don't see that being the case anytime in the near future. This gun doesn't hold a high value. Even brand new in the box, if you find it on GunBroker, it's going to go for much less than what MSRP was for it. According to the Blue Book of Gun Values, this gun in the box is probably worth $525, but I've yet to see something at that price range on GunBroker brand new. In terms of used value, GunBroker will usually have listings for this gun around the $200 to $300 price range, maybe up to $350, but not much above that. And from the Blue Book value, used, this gun could run as low as $250, which if you compare the Blue Book value compared to what I see on GunBroker, there's a little bit of discrepancy there, so there's not a lot of value. So because of the low value that I see this gun, the fact that it's not really a collectible piece yet in terms of availability, I'd say no, it's probably not a gun I would recommend for anybody who wants to add a gun to their gun collection for just the sheer pleasure of gun collecting. Those are my thoughts on the Springfield Armory XDS, this one in 45 ACP. If you like my amateur videos here and the average Joe thoughts on firearms that I share with people, then I encourage you to subscribe to this channel and hit that thumbs up button on this video. Don't forget to check out my blog and look me up on social media. Links are below in the video description. And if you feel like contributing and helping me make more of these videos, please sign up to be a patron on my Patreon account. The link is below in the description as well. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.